Hello everyone, this is Haris bin Amin with the most exclusive talk of the world, and that is about the resignation of the former Prime Minister of the UK, Mr. Boris Johnson. So, what is the detail? What is the news? Let me share with you. Last night, former Prime Minister Boris Johnson announced that he was stepping down as an MP, claiming he was forced out of the parliament over partygate, having seen in the evidence a report by committee of the MPs over whether he missiled the Commons. In an explosive resignation statement, he called the committee a kangaroo court whose purpose to has been to find me guilty. This is what Boris Johnson says. All of the Saturday newspapers' headlines on the resignation bombshell. Appearing on the BBC, two Labour MPs have called Johnson a coward. Angela Rayner says the ex-PN doesn't accept responsibility for his own actions, while Chris Brandt, the chair of the Johnson's chief advisor, when he was foreign secretary, says that by going as he has, all guns blazing, he is able to avoid defeat and blame pretty much everyone else. He further says that he's preparing himself for what might be next without the humiliation of being kicked out. In the wake of Johnson's exit, his allies closed ranks around him, with former Home Secretary Preeti Patel calling him a political titan, while staunch Brexiteer John Redwood said it was very worrying that such an important figure in the UK's political life left uh, hounded out like this. He is an important figure in the UK's political lineups because he was the member of the parliament since 2001. So there have been so many years that he was the member, but now suddenly he gives a resignation. So the reason of his resignation, what was the reason? That was the partygate. What is partygate? Let me discuss. Let me show some explanation. Let me tell you in a detail that what is the partygate case. So, Partygate is a political scandal in the United Kingdom about parties and other gatherings of government and conventional and conservative party staff held during the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 and 2021, when public health restrictions prohibited most gatherings, which contributed to Boris Johnson's downfall as Prime Minister and his later resignation as a member of the Parliament. So the further details is that while several lockdowns in the country were in place, multiple gatherings took place at 10 Downing Street, its garden, and other government buildings. Reports of events later attracted media attention, public backlash, and political controversy. In late January 2022, 12 gatherings came under investigation by the Metropolitan Police, including at least three attended by Johnson. So, this is very shocking. The then Prime Minister, the policeman issued 126 fixed penalty notices to 83 individuals whom the police found had committed offence under COVID-19 regulations, including one each to the Johnson, his wife Carrie, and Rishi Sunak, then Chancellor of the Exchequer, who all apologized and paid the penalties. Now, further information, it tells that the first reporting was on 30 November 2021 by the Daily Mirror, which the newspaper, everyone knows it, of 10 Downing Street staff gatherings during the 2020 Christmas season. Now, Johnson said rules has been followed, and Downing Street denied that a party took place. A week later, video of mock press conference. Now, this is interesting that the conference in 10 Downing Street was broadcasted, in which joking comments about a party having taken place were made. Allegra Scarton, featuring in the video in her role as Downing Street press secretary, she resigned her subsequent government position after the video surfaced, and Sean Bailey resigned as chair of the London Assembly's Police and Crime Committee after evidence emerged that he had attended a gathering where it was alleged that COVID regulations had been broken on 14th December 2020 with Conservative Party staff. In January 2022, reports emerged of an event with drinking on 20 May 2020 in the garden of 10 Downing Street during the first national lockdown. Johnson said that he attended and apologized for doing so. Now, this is what Johnson is saying about this. Downing Street apologized to Queen Elizabeth II for two events on 16th April 2021, the day before Prince Philip's funeral during a third lockdown across England. Now, reports followed of the gathering celebrating Johnson's birthday in June 2020. After the mock press conference video leaked on 8 December 2021, Johnson announced a cabinet office inquiry, eventually undertaken by civil servant Sue Gray. He is a civil servant. In January 2022, the Metropolitan Police opened its own investigation into potential breach of COVID-19 regulations, which delayed Gray's report. An update on Gray's investigation was published on 31st January 2022. Gray's final report in May 2022 described multiple events, including excessive drinking and a lack of respect shown to cleaning and security staff. Now, this is very astonishing. She concluded that senior police, political, and civil service leadership must bear responsibility for this culture. Now, a public dispute over the event led to the decline in the public support for the Johnson, the government, and the Conservatives, and contributed to the party's loss of the 2021 North Shropshire by-election and poor performance in 2022 local elections. In early 2022, a number of opposition and a few conservative politicians called for Johnson's resignation or a conference vote. Now, this is what Johnson has gone through all these situations by his political opponents. The scandal led to the resignation of the five senior Downing Street staffers in February, and that of the Parliamentary Under Secretary of State for Justice David Wolfson in April. So on 21st April, MPs referred the allegation that Johnson misled Parliament over events to the Parliamentary Privileges Committee. On 9 June 2023, Johnson resigned as an MP after having receiving the committee final report. Now, which is the current news going throughout the world, especially it is the hottest news of the UK. The former Prime Minister Boris Johnson has announced that he is standing down as an MP with immediate effect, and it comes after he receives a report from the MP-led Privileges Committee into whether he misled Parliament over lockdown parties at Downing Street. Senior official and minister, including the current Prime Minister and then occupant of the same building, Rishi Sunak, believed that we were working lawfully together. On the Rishi Sunak, he is currently the Prime Minister of the UK, and earlier he was also named, and he also got the notification from the senior officers of the police because he was also involved in that parties. So what is the next? I have been an MP since, this is what the statement of Mr. Johnson. I have been an MP since 2001. I take my responsibilities seriously. I did not lie, and I believe that their hearts, the committee know it, but they have willfully chosen to ignore the truth because from the outset their purpose has not been to discover the truth genuinely to understand what was in my mind when I spoke in the comments. Their purpose from the beginning has been to find me guilty, regardless of the facts. This is the very definition of the kangaroo court. Now, what I told you in the beginning of the vlog, that he called uh, that parliament a kangaroo court. Now, most members of the committee, he further says, Johnson further says that most members of the committee, especially the chair, had already expressed deeply prejudicial remarks about my guilt before they had even seen the evidence. They should have reduced themselves. So this is what this about all the case is of the Johnson's resignation as MP. You can follow me further for the further information about this particular case, and to know about the important and exclusive news about and the detailed summary of the news, exclusive news throughout the globe. You can follow me. You can subscribe my channel as to get the much information about the globe. Thank you very much.